Hi everyone, very good morning and welcome back to CGB Mentors. So let us do today's class. We are on the third lecture of our introduction to accounting, right? Yesterday we discussed about few things. We discussed about what is real account. We also discussed about that what are your personal accounts. Now in the similar direction we need to talk about what are nominal accounts and what are the representative accounts, right? And then we also move on to the other basics, and then the basics class would end for us here. Now let us start. Number one is your real and nominal. That's something I have already discussed yesterday, right? We will talk about the nominal accounts today. See, nominal account means it includes all sort of accounts which are there for the income, right, which are there for expenses, losses, incomes and gains. Like in the personal account I have told you that we will write the name of all the persons, right, persons, institutions, right, all these they come in the personal account category. Whenever I talk about assets, जब मैं assets की बात करती हूँ, then I talk about the real accounts. Always remember, be it tangible assets or intangible assets. भले ही मैं tangible assets के बारे में बात करूँ या मैं intangible assets के बारे में बात करूँ, both are real accounts, right? Both are real accounts. Now let us see about the nominal accounts. Nominal account means expenses, losses, incomes and gains, right? So the rule says debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. ठीक है, जितना भी आपका खर्चा हो रहा है वो सब आप डेबिट करेंगे and or every income that you are having you are going to credit it. So suppose I have incurred expense. Now see this, I have paid salary. Salary is a expense for my entity. So when I have incurred this expense, I will debit it. मैं क्या करूँगी, इसको डेबिट करूँगी. Obviously, I will pay this in cash, right? I have paid this in cash. Now let's revise the rules. We know that nominal account, salary account is a nominal account because it's an expense. What is it? It's an expense. So expense is debited when they are incurred. If I would have incurred a loss, let's say loss by fire. So loss by fire would be debited, right? Any losses has to be debited, any expenses has to be debited. Then I have incurred this. Cash is a real account. Cash क्या है? एक real account because cash is an asset. So when you have incurred money, when your asset is decreasing, you have credited it, because in the asset case, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. अगर आपके पास आ रहा है तो आप debit करेंगे. If it is going out of your hand, then do the credit. Okay, first entry is clear. Now after this entry, we also transfer our expense to profit and loss account because we have to show this, right? So in the year end, जब साल आपका खत्म होने वाला होता है, at that time I transfer your expense to the P&L account, and that is why all the expenses and incomes are transferred to the P&L account, and in the year end there would be nothing in salary account, right? Which paid course you are talking about? I know voice is echoing a bit. Which paid course you are talking about? See Jeet, what happens is that the topic might be introduction to accounting, but the content that we make is specifically for different kind of examinations. What is relevant for RBI is given in the RBI course, right? Right now we are teaching for the EPFO, and in the EPFO examination all this is very, very important. So that is why the content has been structured in such way. Okay, so EPFO course, great. We'll upload this PDF because today the lecture will end, right? So all 3 lectures from the specific PDF are over, so it will be uploaded in the course. Okay. Anyway, so by the year end you will transfer the entry in the P&L account. आप कहाँ transfer कर देंगे? P&L account. So that next year you will start afresh in salary account. Whatever was the balance in salary account, you transfer to P&L account. That's how we close the entries. Now suppose if I have gotten some income, अगर मुझे कोई income मिली, let's say I have earned the rental income. So cash account would be debited because cash is a real account, and if it increases then I have to debit it. Then I have got rent income, so I will credit because this account says credit all the incomes and gains. ठीक है, credit all the incomes and gains. Got the point? So this is your real account. That is why when the money is coming in, it would be debited. This is your nominal account. Why? Because it is related to expenses, incomes and gains. I hope you would have understood this. ठीक है, आपको ये समझ में आ गया है. Now let's see the examples of nominal account. Very, very important. Salary, wages, rent, advertisement, electricity, discount allowed, commission received, interest income, discount received, profit on sale of asset, loss by fire, etc., etc. Remember, this list is not exclusive. Okay, there can be so many things included herein. Okay? So, Subhashri, we are on the 3rd class for the accounts, right? So, you can just watch the playlist. Fine. So, these are all the kinds of your nominal accounts. ठीक है, ये आपके सारे क्या हैं? Nominal accounts. बात समझ में आ गई हमको? Now, whatever kind of income and expenses related accounts you can see, they will be accounted for over here. सारे के सारे आपके क्या होंगे? Nominal account. Now let's talk about the representative personal account. Now this is the favorite of examiner because it creates confusion. Many of the times we only know 3 types of accounts: real, personal, nominal, and it's easy for us to segregate also. ठीक है, हम आसानी से segregate भी कर सकते हैं. But if they ask you what kind of account is provision for taxation, what kind of account is provision for depreciation, right? So such kind of accounts which you are not able to classify. For example, I am saving for taxation, I am saving for depreciation. Whether it's an expense, whether it's a real account, whether it's a personal account, what kind of account is this? I don't know about it, right? So yes, Vishal, it is important to watch in sequence, right? Now let's see this. Nominal accounts which represent a person or a group of person, they are called as personal accounts, right? अब देखो ये तो हमें समझ में आ गया. जैसे देखो outstanding salary है. Outstanding salary. Salary is an expense, but it is outstanding. That means not yet paid. Not yet paid. So आपने pay नहीं किया है, that means now you have to pay to somebody. Yes, it's an expense, but now this is a liability towards someone. I have an accountant and I have not paid him the salary for the month of September. So what it is outstanding salary. It belongs to a person now. It was my expense. Yes, I have recorded my expense. But after recording, I have not paid this amount to somebody. Now let's have a look what I am trying to explain. See this? So every month I pay 10,000 rupees as salary to my accountant. So this year I have to pay 1,20,000. This is the expense. Actually, in cash I have only paid 1 lakh rupees. Right? What I have paid is 1 lakh rupees. Got the point? Now that means I have not paid 20,000 rupees. I have not paid 20,000 rupees. Guys, see, this is your expense which you have completely recorded. Okay, you have also reduced your real asset, but by recording outstanding salary, you are recording liability. Okay. सुभाशीष, तुमको सही लग रहा है, but let's focus on the class right now. At least you can hear me. चलिए, so outstanding salary, you guys see, I have recorded the expense completely. That is the nominal account for me, right? Real asset reduction is there, fine. Outstanding salary, it's a liability for me. What it is? It's a liability for me. I have to pay to somebody. So it is called, it will be what kind of account it is? It is representative personal account. ठीक है? ये क्या है? Representative personal account. Similarly, outstanding rent, you have to pay the rent to landlord. आपको किसको पे करना है? Landlord को. It's an expense which you have already recorded, but now you have not paid a portion of that to landlord and hence it has become your liability. अभी आपकी क्या बन गई है? Liability, right? So that is why what kind of account it is? It's a representative personal account. See, I know it's a liability, but what is its nature? इसका nature कैसा है? It's a representative personal account. Guys, remember the examples, they are very important. Anything which is outstanding, anything which is prepaid, advance, accrued, unearned, advance, right? They all are your representative personal account. ये सारे के सारे आपके representative personal account हैं. Like for example, what is prepaid insurance or prepaid rent? I had to pay the insurance for the month of April to March, right? But the cycle of my insurance goes from June to June. June से June जाती है. So इसका मतलब I have already paid insurance in advance for 3 months. For the next year also I have paid in this year. पिछले साल से के लिए भी मैंने इस साल पे कर दिया है. So what is that? That is a prepaid insurance. मैंने ज़्यादा पे कर दिया है and it is an asset for me. Why it is an asset for me, guys? Anything that suppose I had to pay rent. I had to pay 120 as my rent, but I paid 150. So the 20,000 which I have paid in extra will give me benefit next year. अगले साल कम देना पड़ेगा ना, अगर इस बार पहले से ही ज़्यादा दे दिया, if I have paid it in advance, right? It's a beneficial thing for me. मेरे लिए फायदे की चीज़ है. क्यों? Because now I have to pay less in the next year. अगले साल या अगले महीने मुझे कम पे करना पड़ेगा and it's a beneficial thing for me. But yes, it's an asset for me, but what kind of account this is? This is representative personal account. Accrued in interest means company had to pay me 6 months interest, but they haven't paid me. Right now we are in the 8th month and the company hasn't paid me 6 month interest. So obviously I have earned the interest, interest belongs to me, it's just that I have not received in cash, ठीक है? So when the income remains outstanding, जब income outstanding रहती है तो उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Accrued. That means this income belongs to me but I have not received it in cash yet. ये इनकम मेरी है लेकिन अभी तक बस मुझे कैश में नहीं मिली है. ये बात आ गई समझ में? So accrued income, what kind of account it is? It is a representative personal account. And all kinds of provisions, guys, provision for depreciation, provision for taxation, provision for doubtful debts, all kinds of provisions, they are your representative personal accounts. ठीक है, ये सारे आपके representative personal accounts में आएंगे. Fine. Now what is a contra asset? Just मैंने यहाँ पे डाल दिया है, contra asset account is an asset account with a credit balance. जैसे कि provision for depreciation, we know that if asset is 1 lakh, provision for depreciation is 40,000, that means asset value is 60,000, right? So this provision for depreciation is actually asset with negative value. क्या है ये? Asset with negative value. So that is why it is called as a contra asset. ठीक है, इसको हम क्या कहते हैं? Contra asset. ठीक है, नेचर क्या आएगा? It's a representative kind of account. Now let's see systems of accounting, guys. So double entry system, we know that whatever debit and credit you do, asset should be equal to the sum of liability plus equity. Always remember, the asset should be equal to sum of liability plus equity, right? Debits, credits, right? Whatever increase or decrease that is happening. अच्छा, ये double entry system क्या होता है? It's based on dual aspect principle, which tells us that every transaction has two effects. हर ट्रांजैक्शन के दो इफेक्ट होते हैं. There is a receiving benefit and the other one is the giving benefit. So one account is debited, another account is credited. It records both aspects. Every debit has a corresponding credit. As I have told you, if I am paying the salary, or let's say if I am making sales, I have done sales, so cash account would be debited to sales account. Sales is a nominal account. Sales is a nominal account, right? So nominal account का rule क्या है? If it is an expense or loss, debited. If it is income or gain, credited. ठीक है, अगर इनकम है और गेन है तो क्रेडिट करना है. सो सेल्स इज व्हाट? सेल्स इज योर इनकम, राइट? आई हैव क्रेडिटेड इट. कैश इज व्हाट? रियल अकाउंट, राइट? सो you see, every debit has a corresponding credit, right? Every debit has a corresponding credit. Arithmetical accuracy हम कैसे verify करेंगे? This we will verify through trial balance. Now trial balance tells you, trial balance एक statement है which tells you whether all the debits are equal to all the credits. ठीक है, क्या सारे डेबिट सारे क्रेडिट के बराबर हैं या फिर नहीं हैं? So yes, it is advantageous for all kinds of organization. Even if you are a small organization, big organization, doesn't matter. Fine. Then you have single entry system. ये मैंने आपको कल भी बताया था. It's an incomplete method of recording the transaction. You are just writing a statement. It only records the personal account and the cash book. Personal account means I have sold goods to Mr. Ram. I have purchased goods from Mr. Shyam. So it will only keep the accounts of personal account, right? Jeet, I have included provision for depreciation also in that. I am just telling you. Now, why I will prepare cash book in single entry system? Because I would like to notice what is the cash I have paid, what is the cash I have received, right? So that is the principle of single entry. Anyway, we do not follow the single entry. Now Jeet, I guess you are confused because I mentioned provision for depreciation as contra asset, right? See, listen to me. I was trying to tell you that whether this account is an asset or liability, in which side it would be reflected. क्या ये कोई asset है या ये कोई liability है? Like I have told you, outstanding salary is a liability. But what is its nature? It's a representative account. ठीक है? It's a representative account. In a similar manner, I am telling you what is provision for depreciation. It's a contra asset. Contra asset means this is reflected in asset side but in the negative. ठीक है? कहाँ दिखाते हैं? Asset side में, negative में. Similarly, provision for doubtful debt. Where do we show this? Asset side in negative, because I am saving for the debtors who might not pay me the amount. मैं उन debtors के लिए save कर रही हूँ जो मेरे को पैसा नहीं देंगे. So in the end we classify these accounts as the representative accounts. ठीक है, हम इनको कैसे classify करते हैं? Representative accounts के तौर पे classify करते हैं. ठीक है, so I hope it's clear. Now we need to talk about the basis of accounting. See, before starting this, I'd like to tell you something. Accounts is a separate domain. ठीक है, accounts is a separate domain, whereas there are few things that are made mandatory through your Income Tax Act, through your SEBI provisions, right? Like in accounts, in normal accounts, they tell me, just a second. In normal accounts, they tell me that you can follow cash basis or you can follow accrual basis. They have given me the leeway कि आप cash basis भी follow कर सकते हो, accrual basis भी follow कर सकते हो. What is cash basis? What is accrual basis? I'll explain to you. But Income Tax Act and SEBI provisions, they don't allow me this. They says no. You need to follow the accrual basis. क्या follow करना है आपको? You need to follow the accrual basis. So because of this, the companies has to follow the accrual method inadvertently. They do not have a choice. But in accounts, they give you the choice कि आप cash basis follow कर लो या accrual basis. Now why is it so? Why does the accounts provide you this kind of bifurcation? The answer to this is, hear me out, there are small businesses also. छोटे business भी तो होते हैं. Somebody is having a general store. Somebody is having a small shoe store. So you cannot force that person to follow the accounting as per your opinion. ठीक है, आप अपनी मर्जी से तो follow नहीं करा सकते ना. उनको आपको कुछ तो leeway देना होगा, and then you are just telling them that listen, these are the rules, you can follow it, right? So I hope now you understand this. Cash basis means record only those transactions which you have paid in cash or received in cash. जो आपको cash में मिला हो या फिर जो cash में pay किया हो, right? So that is your cash basis of accounting. Just wait for a second. Yes, Subhashish, I have acknowledged your doubt, right? I'll give the answer for it in the end of the class. Just wait, okay? Chaliye. So that's the cash basis of accounting. It doesn't matter that what are the expenses and what are the incomes, you only have to record what you have paid in cash. ठीक है, आपको सिर्फ वही रिकॉर्ड करना है जो आपने कैश में पे किया है. Getting the point? So if my salary to accountant is 1,20,000 but I have only paid in cash 1 lakh, so what I will record in my books? मैं अपनी बुक्स में क्या रिकॉर्ड करूंगी? 1 लाख. I will not record 1,20,000, मैं 120 रिकॉर्ड नहीं करूंगी, मैं सिर्फ 1 लाख रुपीज रिकॉर्ड करूंगी. दिस इज कैश बेसिस ऑफ अकाउंटिंग, राइट? बट दिस इज नॉट इन लाइन विद मैचिंग प्रिंसिपल. ये मैचिंग प्रिंसिपल को इग्नोर करता है. अब इसका मतलब क्या है भाई? ये मैचिंग प्रिंसिपल क्या है? वी लर्न दिस इन अक्रूवल बेसिस. नाउ अक्रूवल बेसिस सेज दैट you are operating from 1st April till 31st March, right? First of all, write all the income that you have earned, okay? Then write all the expenses that you have incurred to earn this income. Hear me out again. आप सारे खर्चे लिखिए. प्लीज राइट ऑल द एक्सपेंसेस यू हैव इंकर्ड टू अर्न द इनकम. ठीक है, इनकम कमाने के लिए आपने जितने भी खर्चे किए हैं प्लीज वो सारे लिख दीजिए. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज मैचिंग प्रिंसिपल, वेयर यू आर मैचिंग द एक्सपेंसेस विद द इनकम. इफ आई हैव अर्नड 100 rupee income, I will write all the expenses I have incurred to earn that 100 rupee. This is matching principle and this tells you that what is your real profit. ये आपको बताता है कि आपने actual में कितना profit earn किया. Got the point? So this is called as matching principle which we will study in our upcoming classes. पहली बात तो ये. अब दूसरी बात आप मेरी बहुत ध्यान से सुनिएगा. Accrual basis says whether you have received income in cash or not, write it. If the income belongs to this year, अगर ये income इस साल की है, suppose I am teaching you guys, right? So my income belongs to the current year. अब now whether I have received it in cash or not, भले मुझे कैश में मिला हो या ना मिला हो, I will record it. मैं इसको रिकॉर्ड करूंगी. Similar manner, whether I have incurred the expenses in cash or not, I have to write it. That means if the accountant's salary is 120 and I have paid in cash just 1 lakh, doesn't matter. I will write the whole 1,20,000. मैं वो पूरा 1,20,000 लिखूंगी. क्यों लिखूंगी? बिकॉज दैट इज द एक्सपेंस विच बिलोंग्स टू करंट ईयर. ये वो खर्चा है जो हमारे करंट ईयर को बिलोंग करता है. एंड दिस इज समथिंग वी कॉल एज द अक्रूवल बेसिस अकाउंटिंग. इसको हम क्या कहते हैं? अक्रूवल बेसिस अकाउंटिंग. Doesn't matter whether you have received the cash or not, if the income or expense belongs to the current financial year, please record it. So with this, our class for the basics of accounting is now finished. We will start with the next chapter, but before that I'd like to answer the query that why the incoming assets are debited while outgoing ones are credited. ठीक है, जो बाहर जा रहा है आप उसको क्रेडिट कर रहे हो या माइनस कर रहे हो. So Subhashish, hear me out. This is your balance sheet. And in the balance sheet, this side has debit balance, this side has credit balance. Your assets are written on this side. Your liabilities are written on this side. Okay, so machinery, if I have purchased machinery, obviously I have to debit it. Because in the balance sheet this is the side where I write my machinery. So if I have purchased machinery, this is increasing, I have to debit it because the assets have the debit balance. Whereas if suppose I have taken bank loan, right, I have received bank loan and bank loan is increasing, it would be credited. So liabilities increase when you credit it. Assets increase when you debit it. Suppose I have sold some asset, I have sold machinery, so it would be credited. क्या किया जाएगा? Credit किया जाएगा, so that it balance reduces, right? Now I cannot give you the justification that why the assets are written on the debit side and liabilities are written on the credit side, because this is how the whole system of accounting has been designed. I am sure it could have worked in a different way also, right? But they have decided it like this. Now what we have to understand is that whenever you are talking about assets, if it is increasing, you have to debit it because it is written in the debit side of the balance sheet. And if it's a liability, if it is increasing, you have to credit it because they are having a credit balance. किस तरीके का balance है इनका? Credit balance. Okay? Yes, it's more of a convention. See, you are designing something. Suppose you have designed a machine. I am sure there are other ways to design it as well. Correct? और भी दूसरे तरीके हो सकते हैं. Now there can be one more logic. वो भी सुन लो फिर बात करते हैं. Like I have told you, now there should be a symmetry between other things also. I said that expenses should be debited. अब खर्चा होगा, so that means my asset would be reduced. So asset is credited. So there is a relationship between your expense and asset also. If expense is increasing, you are debiting it. So obviously the logic goes that your asset is going to decrease and we have to credit it. ओके, उसको भी क्रेडिट करना पड़ेगा. सोचो, you are purchasing something, so obviously your cash will go down, yes or no? So both expenses and the assets, they cannot have the similar path. If the expenses are increasing, the asset has to decrease only. समझ में आई ये बात? Are we clear on this point? Okay, so there is the logic. The relationship between asset and liability is also defined, and the relationship between expenses and asset is also defined. So that's how it goes, and we are done with your introduction to accounting lecture, right? The PDF would be uploaded in your course, and if I will feel like that there are some corrections to be made in order to make it more understandable to you guys, I will do that, and you can see that on your platform, right, in your courses. So this is it. Thank you so much. I hope you would have understood the class. If you did, then please do not forget to follow the channel, like the video, right? So thank you so much.